Welcome back to DIY Willy, and today we have a new project coming to the garage. This is a 2012 Nissan Frontier. It's got the full Titan swap, CST spindles, Pro Comp coilovers. The coilovers are from a Toyota Tundra, rough country upper control arms, and I don't know if I mentioned the CST spindles. KMC wheels with some beautiful Mickey Thompson Baja Boss tires. These are 295/70/17, about the equivalent of a 33, I believe. That's a nice looking tire. I think it's fairly new for this year. Fairly new tire, really nice. It's got the wider pre-runner type fenders on there. Looks good. He's got a full wrap on it. The truck is white, but it's got a gray wrap. He's got some custom bumpers that have been put on. We got to get them painted. We're going to do some work to the grill. We've got some projects for this truck. We're going to fix the tie rod ends today. They were installed backwards. We need to flip them around so they don't rub on the wheels. We're going to put a backup camera on this truck as well, and do some bed liner work inside the bed liner. Intake, put a more aggressive exhaust on it, and just make it sound and look really good. You know, it already looks great. It's a great looking truck, but we're gonna make it just that much better. All right, so today I'm gonna focus on the tie rod ends because it's really difficult to drive. It wants to rub every time you turn. So I think that'll be my adventure for today. And maybe I'll tackle the gas filler. It didn't get re-bolted back into place. I'll find a bolt for that and go ahead and bolt that back in. It's a simple job. And well, you know, we're gonna put the camera back here like we did on the other truck. So on the back, this has an add leaf, I believe, and a inch block, bringing the back up to where it is. What do you say we get started? It's a hot one. It's a bright day today. It's hot. It's not going to be easy. It's going to sweat a lot. But hey, we got to do this. We got to get this done. We got a lot to do in a short time. So yeah, let's get going. So I've got this loose already. I took the 21 millimeter impact socket on my impact driver and broke this loose. But before I could do that, I had to remove the cotter pin that was right there. Okay, it was in there. I just pulled it out, bent the ends back and pulled it out, took the impact and zipped this loose, and I'm just going to leave it right there. This is the castle nut. Now I need to swap this for the other side. So we have a 24 millimeter nut up here, and this jam nut locks this. This is threaded, see that? And on the inner tie rod, and this is the outer tie rod. So the outer tie rod threads into the inner tie rod. That's where you get your alignment for your toe of the front end alignment. So I'm going to loosen the jam nut so that I can turn this, and then I got to remove it here and pull it out. But before we do that, we've got to measure. We've got to get a measurement so that we put it back in the same position it's in right now. The truck has not been realigned since the repairs, but it is really close and it drives straight. So what it needs to do is we take a tape measure and we find a common spot on both. This is the inner tie rod, this is the outer tie rod. We want to make sure we get the outer tie rod in the same position as it is now. So since we're going to take them off, we need a measurement, and we need a common location on each piece, which is here and here at the end of this little notch right here. There's a notch right there, see that? And then the bottom end of the outer tie rod, and we're going to measure that, and it comes up to be 4.5 inches. And I've already measured the other side is the same, 4.5 inches. So I'm going to get this loose. We'll be able to remove it and exchange them for the right to the left, and then get the same measurement from there to there, 4.5 inches, and tighten up the jam nut and put it back together in reverse order, and we'll be done with this project. So yeah, let me get going. So I've got it up and out right here. This steering box is nice. The steering rack is really tight. Brand new parts. So what I do is I'll put a little pressure. I'll kind of pull up on the outer tie rod, and I'll give it a quick little hit right there. And most of the time it'll pop it right out. Now this one was freshly installed, so it wasn't that tight. And I will normally put a little never seize in here, and a little never seize on these threads up here, rather than like this. It looks like he may have put some type of grease, but I'm going to put never seize when I put them on. And we just turn it off like this, you know, counterclockwise, unthreads it, and we'll change that to the other side. What we want, when it's installed, it'll be in this configuration. You'll see when we get the other one changed. This being all new parts, it comes apart really easy. It may take a couple more whacks if it's been on there for years or for some time. All right, let me get to the other side. All right, so here's the driver's side. I like to film the other side better. There's less shadow. The sun's right behind me. But we've got it on the new, or excuse me, we've got the right side tie rod. If you're looking from inside out, it's the right side. If you're looking from the front of the truck towards the truck, it would be the left side. But I'm gonna call it the right side. Excuse me. You know what? Let's call it the passenger side. I've got the passenger side tie rod on the driver's side, and now you'll see that it curves inward instead of outward, and it will no longer make contact with the wheel. And we just put it in here, go like that, put the castle nut back on. Now I've also already put a little anti-seize in here where this goes. Just helps protect it. We've got anti-seize up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and ram that in. Oh, there was my anti-seize. And then we'll take our wrench and line up the cotter pin hole and put the cotter pin back in. And we'll do the other side. Oh, we also got to tighten up the jam nut. Find the cotter pin. Where's the hole? Oh man, we're like dead on. Just gonna back it off. Just, ooh, that's not the right one. Willie, what are you doing, Willie? I'm just gonna back it off a little bit. Right there is perfect. Put the cotter pin back in, just like that. I want it the big side down. And then we'll just bend it over, much like that. And then that one up. That's fine. Now you can also cut this off if you've got something that will cut it. I don't know if these will cut it, but you can also just cut this off like that. Get rid of the excess and then bend that up, you know, like that. And that way you don't really have anything sharp poking out. Scratch that. That way you don't have anything sharp poking out. Now we'll tighten up the jam nut. It was our 24 millimeter. You know what? I'm going to double check this measurement. Yep, 4.5 dead on it. And then we'll just tighten up the jam nut. And you could also, the tie rod has a flat spot on both sides, so if you have a crescent wrench or the right size wrench, you could also hold it there so it won't turn, and then tighten the jam nut like that. There we go. Now this is good and tight. So these are new and they feel like there's quite a bit of grease inside, you know, so I'm gonna leave those alone. I'm not gonna grease them up yet. I don't want to blow out the seals. But now the driver's side is done. Let's get over to the much cooler passenger side. So okay, so on the passenger side, we've got the driver's side tie rod here that now will become the passenger side. I want to put a little bit of never seize up here. I can see there is copper never seize on there, but I'll put a little bit of mine on there, and I want to put never seize or anti-seize in this hole as well to help protect that from corrosion and over the years. And we'll get this thing put back on. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on top. Can never have enough anti-seize, right? You don't want these parts corroding or getting dirty or rusty, corroded, all that nasty stuff. All right. Now you're gonna screw this on clockwise, and we're gonna screw it and then screw it on and then measure for our distance that we took, that 4.5 inches. We'll just get it turned on here clockwise. It goes almost to the jam nut. I didn't back the jam nut off that much. And those inner tie rods and new steering rack are tight. Okay, we'll measure it right there and see what we got. A little bit more. Let's try that. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's get it down here in the spindle. Put the castle nut on. And then we'll run it in. Woohoo! Perfect. Stick the cotter key in there. I'm in a bad angle, I can't see it. Oh, there it is. We'll just bend it down like that. We'll cut the excess off like we did on the other side. And then we'll just push that up. Just like that. Then we can go and tighten up the jam nut. Let's measure one more time, make sure. Yep, 4.5. Tighten up the jam nut. I'm going to take my crescent wrench and hold it for turning. Like that. And give the jam nut a good oof. There we go. I like that. Nice. Now I got anti-seize and grease all over my fingers. But that job is complete. Put the wheels back on it, put it on the ground. We're good to go. You can also, you know, while you're in here like this, it gives you an opportunity to do some inspection on some of the other parts. And you know, I know that the upper ball joint here is new. I gave him the part number for that. The lower ball joint is also new because it came with the control arm, and that would be it's the same part number for a Titan or a Frontier. It doesn't matter. And take a look at the brakes and the rotor. Now my hands are pretty greasy. I don't want to touch it too much, but if I run my fingernail across, it still feels pretty smooth. And looking at the pads, taking a look in there on the pads, there's about, I'd say about a 1/4 inch, 3/16. Yeah, about a 1/4 inch pad left in there. So he's going to be wanting to get some pads pretty soon and do a brake job, especially with those big old meats right there, man, you know. So yeah, this job is done. Everything else looks okay. Nothing looks bad. The brake cable's in good condition. Everything's a little bit rusty, but yeah, it all's pretty good. They did have to take the inner fenders out because they put these wider fenders on, and I don't really like this look. I would have wanted to keep the inner fenders and trim and make them fit a little, you know, a little neater. But hey, this is what the guy wanted. This is what he got. So switching the tie rod ends is done. We'll put the tires back on, and we'll put the truck back on the ground and move on to another project. So if you needed to swap out your tie rod ends on your Nissan Frontier or your Titan, this would go either way. This truck, like I said, is Titan swapped, so it uses Titan parts and they fit the Nissan Frontier as well. So if you need to swap out your tie rod ends, that was a good how-to on how to do it. It kind of gave you an explanation of some of the parts, and well, more suit our purpose for this truck. But I mean, it was pretty easy, and these were new parts that were been recently installed, just installed incorrectly. So I've now corrected the problem. It will no longer rub on the wheel, and I consider this a successful DIY Willy project. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, give give it a thumbs up, and check out the rest of the videos. Now this truck is going to have many more videos to come. We got an exhaust to do on it, intake, man, lights in the grill, backup camera, put another backup camera in, and a lot of things. So stay tuned, check out these videos when they're ready, and hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, whatever, as you see my videos pop up. And always come back, DIY Willy, but we do fun stuff like work on tie rod ends on Nissan Frontiers or Titans and Chevys and Suzukis and mini bikes, whatever. All right, see you guys next time.